Once I start, I can't stop. This is gonna go well. Come on, Bon. Hey, Monica. So I didn't come up with any video ideas this time, and so what I'm gonna do is a completely unedited stream of consciousness. So I've just started talking, and this is gonna be it with no edits. So lately, I want to say I've been busy, but I've actually been pretty busy procrastinating lately, because I get in these cycles of procrastination that I'm still learning how to stop. Basically, this time it seemed like the cause of this particular procrastination cycle was due to feeling, I don't know, sort of inadequate and doubting my ability to complete the CS assignments that I've been given, and even learn the swing routines that we've been learning, which I'm not sure if I've ever felt inadequate for learning a swing routine before. Not that I've learned all of that many. But these things sort of felt like, I don't know, because I doubted my ability to complete them, it felt like these were all going to be, if I started them, they'd be really, really difficult and not worth the effort and not satisfying or fulfilling, and also not worth like the embarrassment that I would feel when I'm not able to do something. Even though for computer science, it's just like I try an assignment by myself on my own with no one around to see how much I'm feeling at it, but it's just this sort of perfectionist thing where I would feel embarrassed about myself anyway. So yeah, there have been days where I do very little work, if at all. I'm just, stuck in a cycle of continuing to hit the next episode of TV shows. So I do want to qualify, I guess. There have definitely been times for computer science assignments where I have sat struggling for hours on very unfulfilling things, just really stupid bugs, and I've had to spend hours at a time in office hours and with TAs. So there have been times like that. It's not been every single assignment, but those times were not the most pleasant for those reasons. So that's my fears for these assignments were semi-based in reality, even though they were a lot in my head as well. So when I finally got myself to start these assignments and finally made up a mind that I had no excuse to skip swing rehearsal and I needed to learn these routines. So as soon as I made myself read the assignment and start it, and as soon as I spent a little while just with my dance partner, going over the routine a number of times by ourselves, I discovered that my fears were completely unfounded and none of these things were nearly as insurmountable as I thought they would be. So it's not to say that they're all going to be a piece of cake, but I am definitely more confident in my ability now to complete them. One assignment I've already completed and it was fine. So yeah, I am on a better track now. But yeah, this is just one more experience that I really have to remind myself of the next time I get in a similar sort of procrastination cycle. So yeah. So in addition to TV, another thing I've been using to procrastinate sometimes are podcasts. And yeah, I've listened to a podcast called Radiolab for a number of years, but I never really followed any other podcasts until a little while ago when I decided to start exercising every day. And by exercising, I mean at least walking around for half an hour. And yeah, podcasts are a great thing for me to listen to while I walk, so I'm not just bored out of my mind walking, even though it's amazingly beautiful outside lately in Stanford. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you about a couple of podcasts that I've really enjoyed lately. One is the Jenna and Julian podcast. Excuse me. I know I've told you about this, and so Jenna Marbles and Julian, I don't know what his last name are, they're both on YouTube. They're great YouTubers, and their podcast that they do together is also absolutely fantastic. It's just them sitting in front of a green screen. Well, it's on YouTube, and I just listen to it. I don't watch it, because it's just them sitting in front of a green screen and talking about random things. So they pick a topic, or they just do like story time. It's really fun. They're really, really hilarious people, and I highly recommend it. Because yeah, I don't think I've listened to an episode where I wasn't really entertained for half an hour to 45 minutes. Another podcast I've started listening to lately is called On the Media, and basically they talk about news, except it's not just news, but they also analyze how more mainstream media talks about news. And there have been some really, really interesting things. The first episode I listened to from them was about how the media handles our president's tweets and how it could be improved. Because currently, well, disclaimer, I don't really watch mainstream media because I find it very frustrating and annoying and full of shouting matches. So I just read news and listen to podcasts and watch comedy shows that deal with news. But yeah, so what they were talking about was how the mainstream media would bring up this piece of news by just saying, this is what the president tweeted, and then potentially this is why most of it's completely wrong. And so that's just framing the whole topic in terms of the tweet, which might be just total just nonsense. Instead of bringing up the topic, framing it differently, and then adding the tweet in there as well. So I thought that was really cool, and yeah, the podcast is really, really great. Another podcast is called Can I Pet Your Dog? And it's by these two dog lovers who just talk about dogs that they've met, and they do Mutt Minute, where they tell their listeners about a specific breed of dog, and they do dog news, and it's really, really fantastic. Always so lighthearted, but also engaging and fun to listen to without being like too fluffy or too happy. So yeah, I also highly recommend that. And finally, something I've started listening to really recently is the HFS podcast, which stands for Holy Fucking Science. And yeah, so this was created by Hank Green from the Vlogbrothers and a ton of other stuff. And yeah, it's basically just a few friends getting together, and they have a topic and they try to amaze each other with scientific facts about that topic. And I really like it. It's really funny and also really, really amazing. So, all right, it's been about 8 minutes, so I'm gonna call it here. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for letting me do a really low prep, low time consuming video. I do have a couple other videos in mind, one of which is pretty elaborate, so hopefully I really hope to make that and edit it soon. But just know, it's not going to be like this from here on out. I do have plans for the future. Yeah, so as always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're having a fantastic week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.